Welcome to my channel. My name is Haley, also known as SLP Debt Free on Instagram. Some of y'all have been asking me to start a YouTube and I brushed it off many times and I still don't even know what I'm doing, but y'all have some interesting questions and it's too much for me to handle in like a single Insta story. So I'm bringing it to YouTube. So by the title of this video, you probably can figure out what I'm talking about today. I want to go ahead and start and say a medical disclaimer. Everything I talk about in this video is my own personal opinion. It is not medical advice. Speak to your doctor first. I'm simply sharing my personal experience with PCOS and infertility. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so flashback, we're at 2020 right now. Boo, 2020. But at the time of this video, it is October. My son is 3 months old. Flashback to April 17th of 2019, okay? I was sitting in a sonographer's room, bawling my eyes out. And she was pushing the screen away from me so I couldn't see what was going on, but I already knew there were cysts all over my ovaries. I was there because my cycle was weird. You know, I had quit hormonal birth control in attempts to get pregnant. Hadn't happened for 6 months. No big deal. I know it can take longer, but my cycle was all of a sudden weird. Not to mention I had really unexplained weight gain. Like 50 pounds in 8 months type of thing with no change in diet or activity, actually decrease in calories, increase in activity, and still gain that weight. So there were some other things going on and I just wanted some answers. So I got my answers April 17th, 2019. So what did I do? I said, you know, I'm not against taking metformin. I'm actually on metformin right now, postpartum, but I said, let me see how I can do this naturally. So I'm going to share what I did and it worked. So I left that appointment. She told me, you know, you probably don't have your cycle because of your weight. And I know that that's kind of a touchy thing with some women with PCOS. They feel like all they're being told is to lose the weight. And that is true. We hear that a lot. But for me, I was uncomfortable. I was a size I had personally never been. My joints hurt. I was inflamed. I just didn't feel good. Not to mention my clothes didn't fit, but I didn't feel good. So I just wanted to lose a little bit of weight to feel good. Well, I literally lost like 8 pounds and my cycle came back the next month. No, 2 months later. It was crazy. I was also taking some supplements. I'm going to share what I was taking. I was taking a prenatal and I was taking DIM. I also dabbled with the inositols, myo-inositol and D-chiro-inositol. You need to make sure you know what type of PCOS you have. Because when I learned that I had the type that has a high LH, I knew to not take Vitex. I had taken it in the past, and I knew before I even went to the doctor that that was probably the type of PCOS I had because I was turning these ovulation kits positive any day of the month. And I said, I have the high LH surge all the time. Sure enough, these were useless to me. They don't work. So when you have that type of PCOS, so what became crucial to me was tracking my cycle. So I tracked my cycle religiously on an app, and I think I used Fertility Tracker. And I was tracking cervical fluid. I was also tracking my basal body temperature. This is how I knew whether or not I actually ovulated, because that was the big thing with PCOS. You can have a period, but you might not have actually ovulated. So this is how I knew every month. So we quit trying for 6 months and I just worked on healing my body and getting to know my cycle. So I lost the weight, kept losing weight. I was doing moderate low carb. I wasn't doing keto. I just was being more mindful and I felt amazing. I think I might have even like a gluten intolerance in there, which is why, you know, going low carb and really sticking with almond flours and things like that really just felt so good for me. So, you know, I wasn't perfect. I drank, you know, you're not supposed to drink because it can mess up your basal body temperature. You know, I had spent the previous 6 months doing everything perfect and I didn't get pregnant, and I felt like I missed out on a lot of life. You know, I wasn't drinking, you know, and when I say drinking, I mean like a glass of red wine on the weekend with my husband. Like I wasn't even doing that. And I was just so scared. I remember that February I had a horrible sinus and ear infection, and I would not let them prescribe me anything to comfort me because I was so afraid. What if I'm pregnant? I lived in this constant state of what if. And once I had the answers, I let go. I let go and I said, we're not trying for 6 months. And so I just worked on healing my body from April until about August. I was seeing a bariatric obesity specialist doctor and a nutritionist. And I remember saying to him, you know, I really want to try again. And he said, you know, you've lost some good weight. I'm proud of you. If you feel comfortable, you know, I think it's great. And so we tried that next month. So that was September. Didn't work, no big deal. Tried October, and we conceived. It was wild, honestly. We just did the fertility like awareness method where you're just tracking your cycle and you know when to time intercourse, and it worked, and he stuck. And I will never forget living in constant fear until the day he was born, honestly, but especially that first trimester, because I had heard, oh, with PCOS, you're a higher risk of pregnancy loss. And, you know, my doctor, my OBGYN just kept assuring me, you know, those are just statistics. You know, it was a statistic that you couldn't get pregnant, and look at you. So supplements, diet, letting go as best as I could, and trying to stay calm, I think really, really helped. I'm trying to think of what else. You know, I had some issues during the pregnancy. I had high blood pressure, which put me on bed rest, and I was induced early. And then my son spent a little over a week, about a week and a half in the NICU. He had respiratory distress syndrome. We think because he was born early. We don't know if had he made it to full term at 40 weeks, if I could have made it that long, would he have had RDS? We don't know. But he's happy. He's healthy now. He's got a tinge of reflux. But we're here, and we're here to tell the story about it. And I just remember searching all these YouTube videos and blogs trying to find some positivity. So I wanted to share some positivity with you if you're here and you've been searching, that no, it doesn't always happen like this. It doesn't always happen on the second try. It doesn't always happen and stick, but it did for us. And I just want to bring that word to you if you're looking for some hope today. I'm postpartum now. I have gained the weight. I gained the weight back during the pregnancy, you know, quarantine, COVID, stress, bed rest, you know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I did. I gained the weight back. I'm back to eating low carb now, just to feel better and to try to get back to where I was before. I'm back to taking my supplements. I don't take a prenatal anymore. I take like a regular women's multivitamin now. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I can try and answer them as best I can. But that's my story.